Hey guys, welcome to the channel. I hope you're doing well. Today we're going to be looking at this Commodore keyboard that I found buried in a box. It's a pretty rare one. I can't find a whole lot of information on it, but when I saw this Commodore logo, and then I saw this 5-pin DIN, it just screamed 80s, and I had to get it out of the box and see if we could take a look and see what's inside. It's like some of the other rare ones that I've had. I've had an Apple Lisa that was quite rare, an IBM Model F, also some Texas Instruments and Harris Digitron, kind of to name a few of the rare ones that we've had. But this one, I'm really having a rough time finding info about it. I did find that it either has NMB whites or Cherry MX black switches. So we'll find out. It feels like these are linear. They are not tactile switches. So there's a good chance that these are Cherry MX black switches, which kind of fingers crossed, because those are pretty rare. Though you can still get them today. Having them from the 80s that are worn, the build quality, pretty cool switches to have. So let's look at this a little closer. You can see some of the 80s funk that's on this. Looking at the side of the Z key, you could kind of get an idea of what we're up against. I have a pretty cool process for cleaning the keycaps that I'll show you what I do. It's a safe, effective way without a lot of work to get them cleaned. But yeah, you get an idea of what this looks like and what we're up against. The plastic has some grime on it. Nothing horrible. Nothing too bad. I've seen worse. I've seen better. Regarding the cord, it also has a little bit of grime on it. I have a process for cleaning cords as well, kind of make this look a little better. So when it gets in its new home, it'll be that much better. I see that it's missing some screws here. Also missing a foot here. It's got, yeah, these are cool. 2-position kickstands. That's neat. So, yeah, overall, I think this will be a fun project to look inside, see if anything jumps out. Well, I hope nothing jumps out at us. But we'll take a look inside and see if we can get any information on the manufacture date, what kind of switches it has, and all that good stuff. So, if you want, stick around till the end as well, because I'll let you hear the finished product typing, providing we get that far. So, if any of this sounds interesting, stick around. We'll get right into it. All right, well, first things first, let's go ahead and get these screws off. I'm going to go ahead and speed through this so we don't have to, nobody wants to watch anybody removing screws. And then, yeah, we'll flip this back over and kind of see how this case comes apart. I'm leery of ever just pulling a case apart. I always want to just be ginger with it. You never know if there's plastic clips holding anything. It looks like in this case the bottom should come off without a problem. And there we go. So we'll give you a little close-up of this. You can kind of take a look at the underside of this. Another shot there of some more 80s funk. Overall, not too bad. I've seen worse. I've seen better. Looking at the underside here, yeah, we could see that spider that has not seen the light of day since the early 80s. That's great. Let's see what else we see in here. Yeah, some more 80s funk there. Overall, again, not horrible. I see this shield on here. This is typical for the 80s. Everything had shield soldered onto it or in some way surrounding it. We'll open that up and we'll kind of see what we've got here on the inside. Yeah, Cherry branded board here. So these are definitely Cherry MXs without even needing to pull a cap off to see that. And it looks like manufactured of 12/84, so the 12th week of 84. That's a good year. Flip this back over here and we'll see if we could separate this board from the uppercase so we could, yeah, now we can do a little more cleaning there. Let's see, this identifier here says made in Germany, and this is the English US layout. Well, now that we've liberated this board from its case, we can get a closer look at what we're dealing with. Chipsets, and there's a shot of those Cherry MX blacks. Yeah, a few dust bunnies there. So this will give you an idea of what we're going to be doing here when I pop these caps off. A good shot of the underside with the stabilizer bars. We'll lube those up. So without any more delay, let's get into removing these caps so we can start cleaning. All right, well, now that we've got our cap puller, what we're going to do is just remove all these switches. I usually start with the easiest ones first, leaving the space bar towards the end. If you've ever done a Model F, you'll know, do not yank on the space bar. So we'll go ahead and get these removed. Sometimes you don't even need the cap puller. They'll actually just pull right off. Yeah, you can see these right here just kind of coming right off. So that's good. And just be gentle. Don't ever yank on these switches, on the caps, sorry. Be easy on the switches. And then as we get towards the end here, you just want to also be aware of the stabilizer bars. Don't lose any of the little pieces. Be gentle with everything. Yeah, okay. So last one here, we'll get that off and get a closer look of this at this board here. Get a good shot of those Cherry MX blacks. You see that little red bit right in the center under each switch? That's a little diode. So yeah, let's just go ahead and get started. I'm going to slide this out of the way. We'll grab our jar here. This is what I use to kind of get started. Pop that in there. Then my secret weapon, Polydent. Yeah, of all things, these work really well for cleaning keycaps with very little effort. So pop one of those in. Usually I use one or two, depending again how nasty everything is. So we'll kind of take a look at these. You can get an idea. Yeah, they're not that great. Two tablets should kind of do it. So kind of just drop more of these, and don't lose any keys or you'll want to break something. Yeah, just drop the rest of those in, and we'll get into some water here. So we use some hot water around 110, 120 Fahrenheit, 30 to 40 C, and then we just pour that into the keycaps here without making much of a mess. Yeah. And I swirl it around, flip the space bar, repeat. Check out the color of that. Enough playing around with this though. Let's get into the work. So here's the process of cleaning, really kind of wiping down all the plastics. I do my normal process. If you've seen any of my other videos, you'll see that I kind of use some Windex first to wipe off most of the gunk and grime. And then I use this. This is a laundry booster. I make a little paste with it. Since this item isn't that bad, I make a paste with that laundry booster and then just kind of massage it in here to the plastic. And it does a really good job when something isn't that bad. If it's really bad, then sometimes it needs to be a bit more aggressive. But this laundry booster does a good job. You kind of put it on after you make a paste, kind of massage it in, and then rinse it off. Readdress any issues that you see that are still there. You can kind of just massage a little more onto it, but it doesn't scratch the plastic, and it does a really good job. I still go back over it and use some of my Meguiar's Plastex. Again, if you've seen my videos, you've seen my process, so I won't go into that here, but I just kind of give it a wipe down with some Plastex, buff it out. This is a cool little feature right there. It kind of keeps the plastic from getting too much stress on it. So other than that, we're going to kind of hit the bottom here, and then we'll get on to addressing a few of those other issues that we saw early on, namely that the foot that was missing. All right, well, let's take a look at this foot here. These are some little rubber feet that I have. Sometimes I just replace them all, but in this case, I'll probably keep the originals and just do this one here in the corner. Yeah, that fits just about perfect. And you know what? If it comes off easy enough, let's see. Yeah, this one's coming right off. So I'll replace both of these, and that way the feet, at least on the upper side of the keyboard where the kickstands are, match, and they're not, the keyboard isn't wobbly.
This one is wobbly.
Yeah, I'll take care of that real soon.
Couldn't we have hired a professional?
All right, so now let's address this cord here. I'm first going to just wipe it down with the magic eraser, kind of gentle, not to scuff it up too bad while I'm kind of... Yeah, that's going to get most of it off. But then what I'll do is I'll also put this cord in a jar here, as well as like how I did the keycaps. I'm going to take this zip tie off here and pop one of those in. And then I'm just going to do the same process. Give it a little swirl, kind of make sure it's sitting down in there. And then we have our keycaps here and our cord sitting together. So we'll now address this board. I clean in between these switches here. That does a pretty good job getting rid of a lot of just the dust and debris. So I just kind of wipe through the switches here. Not much to see. We'll flip this over here. I use some compressed air. And we'll flip it over and use some IPA on the underside of this PCB. I want you to look at this rag. I don't know what that yellow is, if it's nicotine or... It didn't have any really off odors, but boy, that yellow sure is nasty. Could be some solder flux, but I've never seen that amount of yellowing before. So again, more IPA, more bristle brush. And now we'll get on to those keycaps that have been soaking. So now regarding the keycaps, what I'll do here is I'll lay a towel out on the table here, move everything out of my way. I don't make a mess. And then what I'll do is I'll take and drain the water off of these keys. Make sure you give it a good shake because the water gets stuck. And then once you get all the water out, move this out of the way. And then I really just pour them out on the towel. And then wrap the towel around them, and you get to play human centrifuge. Kind of get a good grip on it, and give it a swirl around. Kind of give it a shake, give it a swirl, and you'll be amazed how much water comes out of them. You see that there? And then what I'll do is I'll kind of massage it again, move the keys around, give it another shake, and then what you're left with there, once you open this back up, let me give you an idea here. Find a good key. Yeah, what you're left with is a pretty clean key. You can kind of give a look, but even the cord comes out pretty clean. Little spot there, but I think this looks good. So we're in the home stretch here. We'll get this zip tie in for this cord, line that up, zip tie that, cut it, and then what I'm going to do is use some super lube here. And I use this just the smallest amount, and I can't stress that enough. I put a small drop in a lid like you see there, and then I use either a toothpick or in this case a zip tie end, and I just apply the smallest amount to each side of the stabilizer mechanism there just to kind of help it out and make it move a little freer. Remember this, less is more. A little goes a long way. So all we've got now is just to populate these switches with their keycaps. This is really the part that I find the most enjoyable. Something about it is just therapeutic. Putting these caps back on their switches is pretty satisfying. Well, as we're wrapping up here, we're going to go ahead and close this case up. I found a couple screws that were very close to the ones that were in it. You can kind of see them here. But I put them in the corners, and there we have it. One unit complete. This is how it looks under the same lighting with the same camera that you guys saw it in the beginning. Let me give you a little closer look of it here so you get a good idea of now what we have as the finished product. You can kind of see the side of that Z key that we saw earlier that was pretty nasty. Now it does look pretty good. I think it came out nice. What do you guys think? I'd be curious to hear what you guys think of this video format, of this project in general. Things you like, things you didn't like. Overall, I really kind of appreciate any feedback, so that tells me which direction to kind of steer this channel. But as we go forward here, what I want to show you is a few shots from the DSLR. There is a definite difference in the white balance from that camera to this camera. This is shot under LEDs. My full frame camera shoots under fluorescence, and I really need to spend time and get my white balance dialed in. So here's some of those shots from the DSLR. You can kind of see the difference in the yellowing. It's kind of cross between the two, somewhere in the middle there. Well, if you made it this far, you truly are a diehard. I really appreciate your time. And as promised, I'm going to get out of here and let you hear this, let you hear what this keyboard sounds like with these switches as it types away. Have a great day. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.